The concept is, which is worse, a monarchy or a society of many kings? I did mention it earlier in the episode, and in my opinion, the United States is a society of many kings. And is it uh, better or worse than a single monarch? And I'm going to say in some cases it's worse than monarchy because you have like local mini kings, community leaders, uh, civic officials who are incompetent. Okay, they're popular. They know how to convince you. They lie to you, but once they're in power, they use that power to benefit themselves, and it's not necessarily going to be good for society to have too many kings, because even though a mini king isn't as powerful as a king, if you're not as educated as a king, in some cases it can be worse. I know historically, like the reason the U.S. Separated from England was the fact that at the time the king wanted too much money. But if a new king is less greedy, or they return, when they collect those resources, they can then redistribute them back to, they can pick and choose which communities get the resources. So if the U.S. Were to benefit from a benevolent king, they might actually you know, the U.S. might be better off if run by a king. So what's worse, many kings or a king? The kings had the benefit of the Royal Society and supreme knowledge. Many kings, they got, maybe they got a CRM, maybe they got Salesforce for information. They buy a mailing list from someone, but that's really not much. Like that's not the same level as like the Royal Society level of information. Like if you have access to people's social security numbers, everything about them, you're going to be a better administrator. So what's worse, many kings or kings, right? Um, I think in some cases, uh, the U.S. is worse off than if it had a monarchy. There are definitely some communities where the corruption is so bad that you actually would be, uh, things are clearly worse than if a king were in charge. So, comment below your thoughts on that. Maybe that's an outrageous thing to say, but um, I see a lot of really, really dumb leaders in the world, and uh, these mini kings and no one, they make the rules, and that always ensures it's them, their family or friends are always in office or making decisions. Of course, they're never going to increase the taxes on the rich because they make the rules on themselves, right?